Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at some of the top Bitcoin mining stocks, seeing if any are still a good value. If any of you have been paying attention to the crypto market, then you would know lately it has been running up and testing the all-time highs, getting slightly above it, at least on the chart, but macro-wise, we are right up there at all-time highs compared to where we were in this bull run that we had in 2021. So the true peak of Bitcoin was set in November of 21, and on the chart we just set that a couple days ago. So let's take a look at the fear and greed index and all these wonderful advertisements for God knows what by Temu. We are in extreme greed. We are 75 or above. If any of you people that are into crypto mining stocks out there even have a girlfriend to wear one of these, there you go. This bed, whatever the hell that is. Anyways, getting to it. So we spiked to extreme greed 90 not long ago. Came down because after we hit that all-time high by a few dollars, we had a little bit of a sell-off, and that move that we had, let me go here, the move that we had where we sold off, and I'm sure there's a lot of people waiting to sell at the all-time high as well as shorts in there. We had a sizable move down, 14%. However, since then, we have gone back up around the same amount. So just something to keep in mind. I have up here weekly buy and sell signals. Even if I go to the daily, we don't have red yet. We had red flashing yesterday, but we haven't had red in a while. So I'm extremely cautious right now. Now, maybe in the next couple months, we are going to go parabolic. This is going to be the next top like we've had before. Maybe. We're right there. It could happen. Or we could have a mid-cycle top like we did in 2019 where we sold off. So I'm going to give you a couple things to look for as far as that goes. Another thing to look at is the alt season index. Right now, at least on the macro, we are way down here. And when Bitcoin has had its blow off tops before, this is what it looks like. Last bull run, we had these three peaks. The tops were right around here, those two tops, and is actually here. In November, we did have some other altcoins getting to all-time highs in November, but most of them were getting to all-time highs here. So be vigilant, whether it's with the mining stocks, altcoins. If I were you, and this isn't, of course, financial advice because I cannot do that, I've been through these last two bull runs. It is better to sell at or near the top than after. As soon as it starts to go down, altcoins get decimated. They get decimated hard. And something you guys should be aware of, the Bitcoin dominance chart, which as you can see, at least on the daily, it started to come down. Weekly, not so much. When dominance is tanking, and you can see the dates at the bottom, that's when altcoins are going parabolic. So that's when I'm expecting even some of the minor stocks to go parabolic. Bitcoin dominance has not been tanking yet. Now, again, that happens at the very end of the peak of the bull run. So maybe it wants to go up a little bit more. Bitcoin dominance testing prior highs that we've seen earlier. So maybe 55% around there is as high as we get. Maybe it comes up a little bit more and then crashes within the next couple months. That's the blow off top. The Fed cuts rates. We go into recession. And if you're like, whoa, what the hell is this guy talking about with the Fed cutting rates? Here's when the Fed cut rates before. We had the COVID crash after, Black Swan event. A lot of people were thinking we would have had a recession earlier, but with all the money printing and quantitative easing, that's what's delayed this upcoming recession so much that is supposed to hurt real bad. But in the dot-com bubble, in the great financial crisis, when we first had rate cuts after holding higher for longer, this is what the S&P 500 did after. So this was right near the peak. This was a little bit after. So I am wondering if if the Fed's going to cut rates in June, July, somewhere around there, that maybe that's going to be the top. And if so, maybe crypto does have a run up here from the yellow zone. We'll see. We're either at a mid-cycle top or the yellow zone here. It's really hard to tell either way. A couple of things you can look for, at least on the fear and greed. If we just spike down, of course, that indicates a big sell-off. But when we tend to stay up in greed and accumulate in there, this was sort of a front-running indicator. We had the top over here. And I know you guys are waiting for me to talk about minor stocks. Guys, this is important because what the minor stocks do is applied more to what the crypto market's doing than just the general stock. So it is important to know what Bitcoin's doing and all that. But without any further delay, let's get into minor stocks and let's take a look at Marathon Digital Holdings. So Marathon Digital Holdings, I drew a fib recently, just trying to see where we could get some value. Let's zoom way in here. So we have this long-legged doji, and these can go violently either way. We'll see what's going to happen, guys. Maybe it's going to get ready to blast off. Maybe if we take a look at the daily. So here we already have seen a daily sell signal play out. That's gone down to this fib level here. So maybe this is an area where we're going to get a little bit of a base and then springboard up. I could see that. As far as possible price targets, of course, you can look at prior all-time highs, but as with many altcoins, the ones that are really, really good that run to new all-time highs, you measure from the high to the low. And a good area to look at is the 1618, so 134. That is in a very bullish scenario where Bitcoin's going to new all-time highs. I would not be surprised to see some of these minor stocks get to around the 1618. Now, if things get really nuts, sure, they can go higher, and these are the next fibs to look for. So again, draw from the high to the low, 1618, 2618. 1618 would be the absolute bullish scenario to look to take profits. So just something to keep in mind. And like I was showing you before, at least on the weekly, we don't have confirmation of a sell yet. If so, maybe let it play out. However, if you're at a dollar cost average in now, as you can see, the daily sell signal has played out. Let me put this on auto. It has played out at least a little bit and more than it did here, similar to these moves here. Now, could a bigger one be coming? Sure, maybe. Maybe it's going to get to around this $19 range. But I think if you truly believe in Marathon Digital Holdings as a stock, you like this stock, you believe in it, I don't think this is the worst time to dollar cost average in. And even if we take a look at the last 3 months, some good, decent accumulation. Up, down, up. And either it's going to come back down, like I said, to this 18, 19 level, or this is the base right now. Might be a good time to buy. Not financial advice. Do your own research on the stock. I cannot research them all for you. RIOT platforms. Let's take a look at RIOT. And when we zoom out, you can see on the weekly, we've had a sell signal. And we wicked all the way down to the 0.5. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. We wicked down to the 0.5, and we're pretty close to there. So it does look like we're forming a little bit of a base. If we go to the daily, you can see it's sort of leveled out right there. And yeah, this is surprising to me. Not going to lie, because a lot of the altcoins have been going up as Bitcoin's been testing the all-time high. I do think if Bitcoin is to break the all-time high and stay above there, a lot of these altcoins are going to go parabolic. I would expect minor stocks to do the same. No guarantees. I don't want to look like a fool predicting things, but that would be my general thought, because these do act like altcoins. So maybe here it's forming a base. You could be a little bit on Marathon and RIOT. You could wait a few more days, see if we're staying here around the 0.5. But if you believe in this, if you like it, I don't think it'd be the worst area to dollar cost average in. Something I've noted before is that with RIOT, after this peak here, we've hit this point twice. So as I drew this trend line, I have been wondering if maybe we are going to get back to this trend line and hit it 3 times. So let's draw a fib from the high to the low there And does that match up? Well, you could say maybe at the 2618 over there, that would be March of 26. So that's way further down the road. And we're just playing with this right here. Let's go from this high to this low. And do we see anything? Well, if you take a look at that, the 1618, it's near that trend line. And again, maybe it closes and then wicks up there. So let's say we moon soon by July, August, and it gets up to this level of 124 to 140. I know it sounds crazy. Trust me, with crypto, I've been through these. I've been through these bull runs. When stuff is really popping off, you have less than a month, even a couple weeks on many altcoins where stuff is just going crazy, and all of a sudden things, stocks, altcoins do a 5, 10, 20x out of nowhere, like within a week. It is truly a crazy time. I've seen it here and I've seen it here right after it was breaking all-time highs. A lot of altcoins, sure, they may get like a 4x before there, but then all of a sudden they really pop off. So I'm not saying that's going to happen now. Again, maybe we're in a mid-cycle top, or maybe we're here. It's that close. It's truly hard to tell. However, if we are going to have a blow-off top, and I would consider around this 127, 130 range to be the target. And again, as we look, let me get rid of this fib so I can show you what I started with. As we take a look at the last year, and we're almost past that. So as we go, we can just draw a fib from the low to the high here. So this paints a little bit of a different picture. Okay, shows that maybe we're going to get support around the 786. Looks a little bit less bullish, really. And yes, I know I'm moving the goalpost. We talked about this 0.5 before when we started. So even looking at it like this on the daily, that sell signal, it's already played out a bit to the tune of 24, 25%. So if you like RIOT, minor stocks, then I don't think this is the worst time to buy. And guys, Market Psychology 101, really important lesson here. If you loved RIOT and you were excited about it as it was getting up here, and you're feeling less excited about it down here, I am going to call you out and question whether you truly believe in it. You should not be putting your hard-earned money in the stuff you truly don't like, believe in, and have researched. So please do your research. I do not have any current stake in any minor stocks. After looking at a couple of these charts, that might change. I am not trying to shill any of these. Full transparency. I am looking at seeing if there's any good entry points, places of value that even I could get in. So RIOT, I don't think it's the worst spot. I would look for some turnaround, at the very least a green daily buy signal. And at least if you take a look at the weekly, we have a sell signal. Now, how quick that'll turn around, maybe it'll be 1 week later, sure. Maybe it'll be 3 weeks later. Maybe 4 weeks later, a month later. I don't know. But because we have a weekly sell signal, you could wait for that to play out. Let's take a look at Clean Spark. So Clean Spark, this one's looking very bullish. Now, we did come down a little bit, and as you can see, as the price went higher, the relative strength index went lower. That means bearish divergence. So I do wonder if this one's getting ready. Yep, on the daily, we've sold down a little bit, but it is getting somewhat of a base around this 15.74, and I know it's around 16.5. What's this RSI going to do? Is it going to continue down here or bounce off near the 0.5 and run higher? We'll see. But as far as Clean Spark, yeah, I would wait for a sell signal, me personally. We have that doji. Maybe things will come down a little bit. And we did spike up here. So I do wonder if a sell signal played out, that maybe you could get some entries at the 0.5, the 13.37, and even possibly, if you're quick enough, around the $11 mark. If we zoom way out and just do what we did earlier from the highs to the lows. I want to draw a fib here from 2020 because that's when we peaked. Actually, we peaked in 2021. What am I talking about? Crypto peaked in November 21, last bull cycle. Yeah, November 21, and then the first time March 21. So where were we in March 21 here? And as you guys see, it doesn't always have to fall. So it had a peak. So here's when Bitcoin was breaking the all-time high from 2017 in December. Okay, that's interesting. So that's valid. We can draw from there. The 1618, as you can see, is around 67.70. So full bullish blow off top situation. You could look at 67.70 as a possibility. Maybe some of these levels up here, 108.46. If we're truly going to go into all-time high areas, I don't know. We will see. But those would be the numbers I'd be looking for. Next, let's take a look at CIFR. CIFR mining. And some accumulation here. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And we're under that 0.5, sticking above the 618. Right now we have a buy signal, so maybe you trust that buy signal on the weekly. Daily, we have a buy signal. Now it went up from the high 2s to the high 3s, so it's gone up a bit. Right now we're at, after hours market close, we are above this fib line, so we've already moved up a bit. Not the worst area to get in, but again, invest in what you like, invest in what you believe in when you're using your hard-earned money. Here, yeah, that's close enough to the top. So let's draw a macro fib from the high to the low. And where's the 1618? 24.78. So that would be, and again, complete bullish situation, something I'd be looking at. Now, there's a lot of altcoins that never return to their prior all-time highs. So there's no guarantees we even get back to this 1546 level. Maybe we only get up to 1223. So as far as this miner stock is concerned, I think of it this way. You have Marathon and even Riot, which is more well known than CIFR now. Maybe you've done your research, you like CIFR more, and you feel safer with your money there. Sure, cool. As far as the charts go, I feel there's a better ROI, better looking charts, and a better company with Riot. That's my personal opinion, at least with the low amount of research I've done. But do your own research. And if you like any one of these miner stocks more than the others, comment below why that is and which ones you're really into. Let's build the community and share the knowledge and information we come across, so that can help give us wisdom as far as how we go forward with this. So next, let's take a look at TeraWulf. And yeah, weekly sell signal. So they've noted in here that TeraWulf, it's consolidating. It's starting to wedge in here, possibly getting ready for a big breakout move. And so it's right at that level in between here, in the middle of this wedge that's forming. So I don't think it's the worst time to buy. Weekly, we have the sell signal. Daily, we have had a sell signal playing out. Now, I do like this level down here around $1.55. If you are able to get some TeraWulf closer to $1.55, I think that's pretty decent. And right here you can see the fib, $1.57. If we zoom way out and go from, yeah, look at this, top 1021, just like Bitcoin did. And if we get back to the all-time high, hey, that's a 20x. But let's say we get even more bullish. All right, let's say we get it to new all-time highs, 1618. Maybe you could even look at $70.25. So TeraWulf, possibly a mining stock worth looking into. Next, let's take a look at BitDigital. So BitDigital, on the weekly, we have a sell signal that's already been playing out. Let's throw this on automatic. So yeah, this isn't looking too good. It might be coming back down to these levels around the $2.14 range. Now, this is just me. If BitDigital was a stock I liked and believed in, I don't care. I'd be buying in here. I think this does look pretty good. Sure, I might catch a falling knife, but as far as like dollar cost averaging is concerned, I don't think this is the worst area. But of course, I don't go buying stocks purely off of technical analysis, and nor should you. Do your research. Do your research first, because if you're just, let's say all you have are buy sell signal indicators, you can still get wrecked. Okay. So there's more to it than that. Make sure you like the stock, research the stock, even use it. I know with crypto that's not always the case. So let's zoom way out here. Where were the tops? So January 21. Okay. You can see here, right? Wow. You can see here, December 2020, that's when Bitcoin was getting ready to break above all-time highs from 2017. Bitcoin, not Bit Digital. And the first all-time high was in here, or the first spike, it was in here. And November, where was November? November is here. So this one sort of moves to the beat of its own drum a little bit. Yes, it's somewhat correlated with Bitcoin, but not completely. So if we did get back to those highs, 33, okay, that's about a 10 to 12x, somewhere in there. Looking way out, gosh, if we break through this $2 level, then maybe we get to the 155 level. So you could possibly be patient. And like I said, we have some sell signals playing out. That daily does not look good. And that weekly, I do think it could get down to this $1.96 range. And look at that. That's right near the tops of where we were over here in July of 22. If we zoom out, the 1618 around 53. So maybe you believe this thing can do around a 25x, maybe. But yeah, do your research on Bit Digital. As far as charts and strength goes, TeraWulf and Riot, to me, at least on the chart, look more appealing or the most appealing so far. But don't just go by what I'm saying. I'm just someone on YouTube. Do your own research, weigh the pros and cons, and just have this be at least one piece of information as you consider where to put your hard-earned money, should you do that. Bitfarms. So Bitfarms just got a weekly sell signal, and right now it's at 264, which is right above this 382 fib here. Let's take a look at the daily. And usually the weeklies, they take more than 1 week to play out. Now it's trying to form a base, but maybe it comes back down here to the 215 level. This daily is brutal. So you can see here, last time we got to this fib level, there was a little bit of a bounce, and maybe we get that, but eventually we came down here. If we take a look at what that looked like on the weekly, yeah, that daily positive stuff, you didn't even see it on the weekly. So maybe on the weekly, you let this play out. The thing is, we have this moving average from the buy-sell signal indicator moving up here. That tends to be pretty strong. As you can see, we can bounce off it quite a bit. When we go under, that's mega bearish. So we are lower on the RSI, higher in the price, bearish divergence. Yeah, maybe this one comes down a little bit. And if we zoom out and take our 2021 peaks, yeah, this was around November, and let's just draw a fib. We had this spike over here right as we broke into all-time highs. I guess we can go with that because it's not too much higher. Whereas the 1618, that's around $16. So maybe you're going to get something like 3 to 16, a 5-6x, should this do pretty well. So again, at least on the chart, I'm liking Wolf and Riot a bit more. And that's what we have for Bitfarms. IREN, or Iris Energy Limited. So weekly sell signal. A lot of these minor stocks not looking so good. And yeah, if we zoom in on the daily, what do we got? So daily sell signals, we've been coming down here. We're right at this 0.5 fib. Weekly, gosh, I kind of want it to play out more in the weekly. You can see here, lower price, lower RSI, bearish. Here we had higher price and lower on the RSI, bearish divergence. So there's some bearish things going on here. Maybe we go down more to this 430 range. If you like Iris Energy, I would give this a little bit of time to play out. And we only have back here. So how high could this go? I don't know. If we draw a macro fib, then maybe you could think super bullish situation, 44. Okay, so something like an 8, 9x, maybe, sure. The market cap is lower. It's getting towards a penny stock range of 561 million. So yeah, with these smaller caps, you're taking a bigger risk. And the smaller the cap, the more research you need to do. You should do the same amount of research, but when I'm saying do research, what do I mean by that? At the bare minimum, take a look at these stocks. What's their revenue? What's their expenditures? Are they positive? Are they negative? Do they have a lot of extra cash on hand where they could survive turbulent markets a bit better? Or are they very negative? What's their stock flow like? That's a key one right there. Not a lot of people talk about, but the stock flows, if it's lower, I believe, then that could possibly skyrocket the value really quick. So some factors to look at, but at the very least, expenditures and revenue, see if it's green or red. And if it's red, is it really bad? I might steer clear if that's the case. HUT. And so HUT, yeah, lawsuit stuff. I wouldn't be touching HUT. We have a sell signal on the weekly right at this fib line. So I would guess that it's getting ready to break down here. You see, we have the sell signal. But yeah, we're getting a little bit of accumulation. And gosh, we've had so much going on here. And we are just straight up bearish. As we take a look on the daily, yeah, straight up bearish. Now, here's something here's something to note, and I hesitate to even say this, but I've seen it. In crypto, the most random garbage will pump, especially altcoins, especially ones that are completely useless. And so I am not saying that all because we have red flags with lawsuits and the technicals and possibly even the balance sheet, I am not saying that this thing cannot pump a stupid amount. Let's say we get that blow off top like I've told you before. Maybe we don't get a mid-cycle top. Maybe because we're right at the prior all-time highs. Maybe Bitcoin goes, let's just pretend, maybe it goes to 120,000, 150,000, whatever. Okay, let's take a look at this. Where's the orange? Yeah, like 120 to 150,000. I'm looking at that orange box. Maybe it goes up there. Cool. There are garbage altcoins that are still going to run that have no reason to run. And it is possible a mining stock like this still runs anyways. So fear and greed, what do I guys tell you? What do I tell you guys when there's fear about stocks or in the markets? That might give opportunities to buy. Now we have a big red flag here with the lawsuit. So do not buy this stock unless it's something you really like and believe in. Now, should you buy it because you do like it, you love it, and you're not just buying it only because what the technical analysis is showing you, please God, don't do that. Then maybe you believe that HUT 8 Corp can, in a very bullish situation, go up to something like 130 on the chart and will be something around, I don't know, 17, 18x. Maybe you believe it can go to 209. Why not? Crypto does crazy stuff sometimes. So remember, we have to take a look at the market cap. So many YouTubers ignore market cap. So many people have no idea how it works. If you believe you can 10x your money, that you're going to put $1,000 right now and HUT's going to go from 8 to 80, that means the $700 million mining stock is going to be worth $7 billion. Do you believe this mining stock can be worth $7 billion? Me personally, I do not. Now, crypto does some weird shit, so I don't know if it can get up there. The other thing I want to tell you guys is when they go up there, when the altcoins or even the mining stocks go up there, it can be very short-lived. As you can see here, November, December, look how quick we're coming down. And sure, maybe people were buying in down here, and then we just came down even more. So yes, you could say, well, historically, we're pretty low. My rule of thumb, when I invest, I like it to be something that I believe is going to be around in 10 years. If you know enough about a stock to believe that you can practically guarantee it's going to be around in 10 years, and you love the stock and you've researched it, you like the balance sheet, then sure. So that's what I got for mining stocks today. Again, guys, keep an eye on the crypto fear and greed. You can just Google it, see for yourself. If we spike down, that's bad, obviously. But if we keep ranging up here like we did here, the next new top might be coming. Guys, this was December of 2020. That's when Bitcoin was breaking the prior all-time highs in 2017. December 2020, that was right here. That's when it was getting above the 2017 all-time high. And again, greed was accumulating. So if you see greed hanging out here, kind of like here, then that could be a sign that it's going higher. A couple other signs, like I told you to watch for, Bitcoin dominance. It does not look as good as before when it's tanked. You can see here, it was getting set up and then tanked. This was the true alt blow off top in December 2017. I remember that time very vividly. My investments of thousands of dollars was all of a sudden were 10, 20 times more. Yes, I made profits, but I did not sell everything like I should have. And afterwards, man, I was only holding 2 or 3x in a lot. When Bitcoin dominance tanks, that's when stuff's going parabolic. Bitcoin dominance is not tanking. However, bullish scenario, we keep hitting this area right here. So maybe this is the top for dominance and it's getting ready to tank somewhere to this low 43%. The last thing I'll show you to look out for, the market cap of Tether. The market cap of Tether. And why is this important? When we've been hitting this lower ascending trend line, when we ride on the trend line, and I know it's hard to see, that was the blow off top in 2017. When we smacked off of it really briefly, and even look at the relative strength index, when we smacked off of it and popped up, that was the 2019 mid-cycle top. I showed you guys what that looked like before. That was here. This point, that was before the COVID dump. That was here. We bounced off. Look how we rode that line for the first Bitcoin top. That's in here. Okay. We rode that line for, well, you could say, sure, we tagged it there. That's January. That was right around when we hit the all-time highs. And guys, look where the RSI is. Look how it's oversold. Came up a little bit off it, but then we rode it from the all-time highs. It's January 21, and then we came off of it in May. So we had 5 months. 5 months of craziness. What would that look like right now? That would be March to July. Maybe it's only 4 months. I don't know. Maybe it's March to June. People have talked about the Fed possibly cutting rates in June. So maybe it's 3 to 4 months. Why not? The second Bitcoin top where we just peaked, look where the RSI was. Now, you guys saw that we tagged that line. Look where the RSI is now. So I believe this is a very bullish looking chart here, that it is very possible that maybe we hang down here for a few months to June, July. Maybe July is when the Fed first cuts rates. They want to hold it until they believe inflation is more defeated. Sure, why not? Maybe Bitcoin, crypto, miner stocks are going to go nuts within the next few months. This is the most, compared to the Bitcoin dominance chart, the tether dominance, this looks most bullish to me with all things related crypto. And again, if you're wondering, why is this guy looking at Bitcoin and tether dominance, guys? What Bitcoin does it has the biggest influence on everything else. If Bitcoin's going crazy, all the altcoins, the miner stocks, many of them will fall. Not all of them, many of them will. So do your research. Make sure that you're putting your hard-earned money into something you like and use. And at least here on the RSI, I don't see this automatically getting above 50 really anytime soon. Could it? Sure. I don't know. Maybe we have a black swan event. China goes into Taiwan or something. Or there's a 9.0 earthquake and tsunami. Yellowstone explodes. Sure. Whatever. Okay. Yes. Then I could see everything selling off, going to zero. Or Bitcoin to 8K, as some of the perma bears calling. I try not to be perma bearish bullish. I try not to predict as much as possible. I just try to give my assessment of what the charts are showing me. So keep that in mind. Now we're down here. To me, this is the most bullish looking thing right here. And if you like what you see on the charts and maybe you see some good value, you've done your research, hey, maybe you make some plays into some miners. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope your week is going well and that your investments are going well. With miner stocks, with crypto, altcoins, do know it can be very short-lived. A lot of these things I would not be buying and holding for 5-10 years. A lot of these, if I'm buying down in these zones and we spike up, I don't mind selling. And if something is doing a 3x inside of a few months, guys, that's it, you did it. Good job. Congratulations. Maybe it'll do a 5x. I don't know. But if you're getting a 5x, a 10x inside of a few months or even a year, it is okay to sell and take profits. That is not sustainable. The strongest stocks will do somewhere around a 2x every year, if that. So keep that in mind if we are going to go parabolic. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.